This is not just an engine. This is the reason the Ford F-Series became a legend. Because when you look at a truck, you see metal, design, size. But when you understand a truck, backhand index pointing right, you look at the engine. And Ford understood this before anyone else did. For decades, while other brands focused on comfort, styling, trends, Ford focused on one thing: backhand index pointing right, power that never quits. This is where the story begins. Not in a showroom, not on a highway, but in the harshest conditions imaginable. Construction sites, deserts, mountains, job sites where failure is not an option. Because the Ford F-Series was never built to impress people. Backhand index pointing right, it was built to work harder than anything else on the road. And at the heart of that philosophy is an engine designed with one mission: backhand index pointing right, deliver torque, deliver reliability, deliver dominance. Now let's break this down. Because what makes the Ford engine special isn't just one thing. It's the combination of old-school muscle and modern engineering precision. On one side, you have the legendary V8. And this is where emotion lives. Because no matter how advanced technology becomes, nothing replaces the feeling of a naturally aspirated V8. That deep, aggressive, mechanical roar. The kind of sound that doesn't just reach your ears. Backhand index pointing right, it hits your chest. Ford didn't just build a V8. They perfected it over generations. Stronger blocks, better cooling, improved combustion. Every detail refined to handle more stress, more load, more time. This isn't an engine that performs for a moment. Backhand index pointing right, this is an engine built to survive years of punishment. But then, everything changed. Because the world demanded something different. More efficiency, more power, less fuel. And that's when Ford introduced something that completely redefined the truck game. Backhand index pointing right, EcoBoost. At first, people doubted it. A smaller engine? With turbos? In a truck? It sounded wrong. It felt wrong. But Ford knew exactly what they were doing. Because EcoBoost wasn't about replacing power. Backhand index pointing right, it was about multiplying it. Twin turbochargers force compressed air into the engine, which means more oxygen, more fuel, more explosion. Backhand index pointing right, more power from less displacement. And the result? An engine that delivers V8 level performance, with better fuel efficiency and faster response. This wasn't evolution. Backhand index pointing right, this was a revolution. And suddenly, the Ford F-Series wasn't just powerful. Backhand index pointing right, it became intelligent. Now you had two worlds: the raw, emotional V8, and the precise, calculated EcoBoost. And Ford didn't force you to choose a side. Backhand index pointing right, they gave you both. Because power isn't one-dimensional. It's about how you use it. And this is where the Ford engine truly proves itself. Not in numbers, not in specs. Backhand index pointing right, but in the real world. Because anyone can build a fast engine. But not everyone can build an engine that works under pressure. Towing thousands of pounds, climbing steep terrain, running for hours under extreme heat, day after day, year after year. Backhand index pointing right without braking. That's where Ford dominates. Because durability isn't an extra feature here. Backhand index pointing right, it's the foundation. Every component, tested beyond limits. Every system, designed for stress. Cooling systems that prevent overheating under load. Transmission pairing that maximizes torque delivery. Engine mapping that adapts to real-world conditions. This is engineering built around reality, not theory. And that's why the Ford F-Series became more than just a truck. Backhand index pointing right, it became a symbol. A symbol of reliability. A symbol of strength. A symbol of something that doesn't quit, no matter how hard you push it. And this legacy didn't happen overnight. For decades, Ford refined this formula, improved it, tested it, perfected it, until it became something no competitor could ignore. Backhand index pointing right, the best-selling truck in America. Year after year. Generation after generation. And the reason always comes back to this. Backhand index pointing right, the engine. Because at the end of the day, a truck is only as strong as what powers it. And Ford made sure that their trucks are powered by something unstoppable. So the next time you see a Ford F-Series on the road, don't just look at its size or its design. Backhand index pointing right, listen to it. Because what you're hearing is not just fuel burning. It's not just pistons moving. It's not just mechanical noise. Backhand index pointing right, it's decades of engineering. Backhand index pointing right, it's power refined through time. Backhand index pointing right, it's a machine built to outlast, outwork, and outperform. is not just an engine. Backhand index pointing right, this is the heart of Ford.